Okay, I'm going to ask you these 5 questions. Question number 1. Because inquiring minds want to know, and the room is full of inquiring minds, now is the time for you to brag. Name 3 and no more major accomplishments during your law enforcement career.
Probably the thing that I'm most proud of in my law enforcement career is starting a program in Galveston County dealing with animal cruelty. It's the thing that I've spent a lot of my career on. As an investigator, I've been investigating animal cruelty for 11 years. I started the animal cruelty investigation program at the Houston Humane Society. Moved on when I came to Galveston County, started a program within District Attorney Kurt Sistrunk. It's called the Galveston Cruelty Action Team. The second thing that I'm most proud of in my career is the 70 commendations that I've earned, mainly from being a hard-working street cop. I was a very active patrol officer, very active, actually to the point in my career where I was a sergeant. I was actually active as a sergeant on the street. And probably the third thing I'm most proud of is being a canine handler with the Galveston Police Department, and basically resurrecting the canine program down there. We'd gone many years, about 25 years, without a canine program. We started a very good canine program in the early part of this century, and we currently have 2 really good canines, which I'm still in charge of with the police department.
I guess working from a deputy all the way up to when I retired at the sheriff's office as a major and running the patrol division. The rescues and the service that we gave the people during the hurricanes and the '79 flood, I felt like were a high point. I don't know how many people we came out, but I led a group of men out into 100-mile-an-hour winds, and we were wading sometimes up to our chest, getting people out of their houses and taking them to shelter. I would say that's probably the biggest high point in my career. I've won numerous awards. I really didn't get into it for that, so I guess that's what I would bank on: the rescues in the storms, and the fact that I managed to work all the way up to major when I retired.
3 major accomplishments for me, I guess one would be I spent 28 years in the field learning a technique and a trade to create one of the most respected identification divisions in this county. Keeping in mind that while I was out there learning this, spending time away from my family, that I also, who couldn't attend a court, to testify on their behalf and put someone in jail behind that. My second accomplishment, I would say, is my father, before he passed away, was a lieutenant. Always felt I'd become higher than him in rank, and I accomplished that task about 11 years ago when I became a captain. My third thing is taking a identification division that had very little training, actually lacking, and turned it around to one of the most respected in this county for not only the attorneys but for the judges that we go in front of.
Some of them I mentioned. I mean, there's a number of cases that I'm proud of, kidnapping cases we've worked. As I said, I work a wide variety of investigations. I think those are some of the most important, the child abduction cases. Some of the biggest cases I've won was a foreign counterintelligence investigation. Can't talk about that. I'm very proud of that. I'm proud of my case in Los Angeles because I developed an undercover operation, whereas we were able to target this Colombian, and it resulted in their dismantlement plus the largest single seizure of cocaine, 2.4 tons. Here in Galveston, running the local office, because we've had a number of great cases. We've worked closely with the other local law enforcement agencies. One case comes to mind, which was in Dickinson. This was a cold case where she was abducted and basically left to die in an ant bed. And the case was, I think it was like 12 years old. And finally, we as the FBI manager, I decided to take it up as a cold case. We were able to get our FBI laboratory to identify through DNA analysis, extensive DNA analysis, the person that committed this crime. We were able to arrest him. We were able to do that.
Well, I graduated from the Law Enforcement Command College at Sam Houston State University, number one. Number two, my entire career have never had a write-up, and I've never had a day off. And I graduated from the FBI National Academy at Quantico, Virginia.